Sitting peacefully in the heart of Van Wert is the site of our final regular season game of the year, Egger Stadium, as the Cougars look to keep the Redskins from perfection. It's the Van Wert Cougars and the Wapak Redskins next on TSC Touchdown Friday. Welcome, everybody, to Van Wert High School at Egger Stadium, and welcome inside the Minster Bank pregame show. Eli Alvarez here on the call for this final game of the regular season. Both teams have a slight possibility for the playoffs. Wapak more than Van Wert, so big implications for this one. Let's take a look at the visiting Redskins. Wapak 9-0 on the season last week, beating the other game-faced team that we cover, St. Mary's, 46-7, a big win for them, and a much-needed win in the WBL. Looking at the visiting player to watch, of course, it's number 23, the running back, the senior, Cameron Locke. He has eclipsed the 1,000-yard rushing mark this season, 1,123 rushing yards for him on the year. So he's definitely our player to watch for Wapak. Looking at the Cougars, they are a team that you could easily say should have a better record, but they stand at 5-4 right now with a win last week against Defiance, 56-25. And our key player to watch is Colin Smith, the quarterback, number 8, and he's a big reason for that last win. 7 rushing touchdowns for him in total in last week's game. Let's segue into our keys of the game for Game Face Ohio. Looking at Wapak, the away team, their first key is to take care of the ball. Secondly, they want to win the line of scrimmage. And thirdly, they want to tackle well in the open field. Looking at the keys to the game for the Cougars, they want to limit Locke's big plays. Their second key is get into manageable third downs. And their third key is to have that confidence that will help them win. Looking at the coaches first for the Cougars, Coach Keith Recker, he's been public in the media expressing how he thinks that the community needs to come together and believe that the boys can win, and that's why they stand at 5-4 instead of what they should be. It's probably a lot better record, maybe even only 1 loss. And then the second-year coach out of Wapak, Travis Moyer, doing a great job looking for perfection tonight. Let's see if they can do it. That's going to do it for the Minster Bank pregame show. We'll be back with the first half kickoff here on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Welcome back to Van Wert here at Egger Stadium next to the old Goatee building. First half kickoff almost getting ready to go. Eli Alvarez here, and the Cougars will receive to start the first half. Tristan Myers back to kick. Jacoby Kelly and Keegan Hardman back to return. This is definitely a game where we talked about will be interesting on all fronts. Wapak looking to go undefeated. The Cougars looking to salvage their season and hopefully a playoff spot. And here's the opening kickoff from Meyer, and it's going to be fielded around the 5-yard line and being brought up and eventually dropped down at the 25. Jacoby Kelly, the returner. So the Cougars offense first out onto the field, and that means the explosive quarterback, number 8, Colin Smith, the senior, will be on first and have his first go with the ball. And as we mentioned, he's someone that last week against Defiance had 7 touchdowns on his own, both rushing and passing combined. The Cougars want to put pressure on Wapak, so if they want to do that, they got to score on this first drive. Smith will keep the ball up the near side, and he's got a hold. Looks like he's gone. Very first play from the scrimmage, and Colin Smith off to the races. Touchdown Cougars, put 6 points up on the board. And the stunned Redskins fans on the far sideline in silence, as there's nothing they could do about it. Colin Smith takes off on the first play of the game. 75 yards. Picks up right where he left off last week against the Bulldogs. Gavin Gardner on to do the kicking for the Cougars. Ryan McCracken is the holder. Gavin Ferkel, the snapper. And the snap is good, and the kick is good. So 6 points, 7 points actually up on the board early for the Cougars. Exciting game for sure in store. We'll be back with more on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Eli Alvarez here on the call for this one. Edgar Stadium is the site, and we just saw Colin Smith go 75 yards on the quarterback keeper to put 7 points on the board early for the Cougars. So now it's time for the Redskins to answer, and it's difficult to say if that's a good thing for the Cougars. Obviously it is, but looking at their stats on the year, 71 points in the first quarter, 116 in the second quarter for the Cougars, but they drop off after the first quarter, only scoring 20 in the fourth quarter this year in games. So obviously they can put points up on the board, but can they do it in the second half? Right now, Cougar fans are just happy they did it on the first play. And here's a nice return, and that is Cameron Locke, and he is off to the races. He's making some moves, dancing around, and trying to be brought down, finally brought down at the 40-yard line. So who else but Cameron Locke helps out the Wapak offense as he brings it down to the 40-yard line. And that's where the Redskins will have it on their first possession.
Brought down on the play number 25, Caleb Jenkins.
So with that great return from Locke, the quarterback, Aaron Huffman, trucks onto the field to lead his Redskins down and hopefully tie this one up. Huffman sends a man in motion. And he will hand the ball off to Locke, and he's got room on the outside. Great blocking, and he cuts back and eventually brought down, only a gain of 5.
Cameron Locke on the carry.
So let's real quick take a look at the starters for Wapak on the offensive line. The tackle, Corey Crawford. The guard, Stone Shinar. John Bourne stepping in at center for the injured Corey Thrush, and Cody Klosterman and Cole Hogan round off the offensive line for the Redskins. And they will be in charge of protecting Huffman and helping Locke with some running room. But unfortunately, they commit a costly penalty early, and they'll be backed up, false start, going against the Redskins. So the Cougars answered early, and by early, I mean very early. Colin Smith putting up the 75-yard QB keeper on the first play from scrimmage. So now the Redskins looking to answer back, and I'm assuming if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be the running back, number 23, Cameron Locke. And it's going to be a keeper by Huffman, and he evades the tackler, and he's got some room to run. He's got blocking downfield, and Jacoby Kelly finally makes the tackle right before the 40-yard line.
Brought down on the play by number 11, Jacoby Kelly. So plays good for Redskin, first down.
Ethan Good, Court Miracle, Cameron Locke, and Jared Cockerell are the skill players starting tonight's game for the Redskins. They'll be called on a lot to help against this Van Wert defense that so far has not been superb on the season. For the Cougars, their key is to just get the offense going. The defense isn't as good as the offense, obviously. They gave up 25 points to a weak Defiance team last week, but they did put up 56. And Huffman has a receiver downfield and eventually broken up. And that was the quarterback, Colin Smith, breaking up the pass.
Broken up for the play by number 8, Colin Smith. Second down and 10 for the Redskins.
So the ball set at the 41-yard line. And a second and 10. And Wapak has been able to move the ball against almost everybody in the WBL. I would not expect Van Wert to be the exception of the rule tonight. The only team that I would say Wapak had trouble with was the week when we went to Bath and watched them play. They did not put up any points in the first half. Luckily, they came up big in the second half. And here's Huffman keeping it once again. A stiff arm gets him free, but then eventually brought down across the 35-yard line. Gavin Ferkel with the tackle for the Cougars.
Gain 7, third down and 3 for the Redskins.
If you are new to Game Face Ohio, we cover 2 games each week. This allows us to cover all 10 games for both St. Mary's and Wapak. We will be offering a featured game that airs the night of the game, while our bonus game will first air on Sunday evening. So a crucial third down and 3 for the Redskins in Cougar territory. Huffman looking for a screen to Locke, and they've got him, and it's enough for the first down. Good blocking downfield by Ethan Good, the wide receiver, number 11. He comes up limping a little bit after the play.
Number 34, Gavin Ferkel. Number 46, Ryan Stoller. Result of play is good for Redskin, first down.
So Jared Cockerell subs in now for the Redskins, seeing what he can do. Obviously, the run game is dominated by Locke, as we mentioned. He's eclipsed the 1,000 rushing yard mark on the season, but Cockerell helps him out when he gets tired. But Locke's going to get it here, and he's got a fancy move before the quarterback, Colin Smith, brings him down. But a flag flies, and there's some laundry on the field, and it looks like it's going to be a hold, possibly going against the Redskins. Nope, they're going to call a chop block going against the Cougars. So that'll give the Redskins some more yards. So the officials discussing it, and that's like, looks like that's what they're going to say. So that'll move the Redskins closer and into the red zone now, as their first drive has brought them this far. They're looking to do the same thing the Cougars did on their first drive, which is score a touchdown. So let's see what Coach Moyer draws up for this one. He's got his jumbo package in, one wide receiver out, and he hands the ball off to Cockerell, and he's got some blocks, and he only gains about 4. Brings him across the 10-yard line.
Number 5, Jared Cockerell on the carry. First hit on the play by number 10, Tristan Cowan.
And we talked about it in the pregame, but talking about it a little bit more, the Cougars are a team at 5-4 that multiple games that they've lost this year have all been by 1 point or maybe just a little bit more. They lost to both St. Mary's and Bath by 1 point, and then they fell to Elida and St. Mary's and OG by 1 point, falling to Elida and Bath by 7 points. So this is a team that could very easily be in the same position as Wapak, undefeated. They just haven't been able to finish games, as we mentioned. Only 20 points in the fourth quarter for the Cougars. On the other side of that, they have 116 in the second. Their defense looking to hold up here, and they don't do, well, it looked like a touchdown, but they're going to say that Locke caught the ball at the 1 yard line and then was pushed out of bounds. It looked like he caught it in the end zone, but they're going to say he caught it and got pushed out at the 1. But it is enough for a first down for the Redskins. So first and goal now. The jumbo package in for the Redskins. And it will be a handoff to Locke. And Locke brings it in for the score. So 6 points go up on the board for the Redskins. 7:09 now remain.
From 23, Cameron Locke on the carry, good for the Redskin touchdown.
And now it's the Cougars fans that are stunned after Wapak goes down after a Cameron Locke 40-yard return on the kickoff from Cameron Locke. They go 60 yards on the drive for the score. Meyer on to attempt the kick. Huffman is the holder. And snap was a little high, but the hold was good and the kick was good as well. So 7-all is our score. First it was Colin Smith, and then Cameron Locke answered right back. Action-packed game here in the last week of WBL play. We'll be back with more action here at Edgar Stadium.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Back here in Van Wert at Edgar Stadium, Eli Alvarez on the call. And the Redskins answered the Cougars touchdown with a touchdown of their own, 60 yards. And Cameron Locke caps it off with a 1 yard rush. So both teams going back and forth. Meyer on to do the kicking. Once again, Keegan Hardman and Jacoby Kelly back to return for the Cougars. And it's a high kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 1 yard line by Kelly. He's going to bring it out, and he has a hole and barely slips through before being brought down short of the 25 yard line. So once again, the explosive quarterback, number 8, Colin Smith, will come back onto the field for the Cougars.
Ball spot at the 26 yard line, first down and 10 for the Cougars.
Well, if they didn't believe the scouting report, I think the defense now believes Colin Smith is fast and he can make plays. So let's see what the Cougars draw up here. Most likely not going to be as to the success of the last play call, but anything could happen. And Smith will hand the ball off this time. And that's Justice Tussing, the fullback that helps out Smith because he is a terror in the backfield, a big guy, the senior. The Cougars heavily dominated by seniors, and they're going to miss them next year. And looking around the stadium, there's a poster on the building that shows all the seniors, and if you count it up, there's about 20 to 19 in total. So the Cougars are definitely going to miss them all next year, as most of them are starters. Looking at our starting lineup, there's only about 4 or 5 players that aren't seniors listed on both sides of the ball for the Cougars. as Colin Smith completes a pass.
Number 8, Colin Smith's pass complete to number 18.
And that's Josh Brown with the reception.
Tackle on the play by number 4, Nate Elsis. Result plays good for a Cougar first down.
So the Cougars pick up a first down early on their second drive, and they're hoping to keep the momentum going. We talked about it. The Cougars' defense hasn't been the best this year, so they rely on the offense to score and score often. Fortunately for the Redskins, they have a very dominant offense, as we just saw. And Colin Smith is going to keep it again, and he breaks a few. It looked like he had another big play in store, but the defense snuffed that one out, and only a gain of about 2 for the Cougars.
Number 1, Landon Hall. Gain of 2, second and 8 for the Cougars.
So with 5:30 remaining in the first quarter, the Cougars are faced with a 2nd and 8, ball on their 43-yard line. And Colin Smith will keep it this time. It looked like he gave it to Tussing, but he will keep it, and it won't be enough for a first down, but it will be a 3rd and manageable, which was one of the keys to the Cougars' offense in this game. They wanted to get a lot of 3rd and manageables, and they got one here.
Gain of 5, 3rd down and 2 for the Cougars.
Edgar Stadium, one of the only stadiums in the WBL that does not have a play clock, so it's difficult for quarterbacks and to look and see where they're at time-wise as we see Smith's pass go incomplete. They have to rely on the judge in the backfield, or excuse me, the judge on the defensive side to raise his hand when it gets to 5 seconds, which a lot of players aren't used to doing, but it's something that the Cougar players are familiar with. So we'll see if that becomes a factor at all tonight. Unfortunately for us, that means we don't have any idea of where the play clock is unless we as well see the referee stick his hand up.
Number 15, Maddox Lyles, back deep for the Redskins.
So the Cougars go on their second drive, pick up a couple first downs, and then are forced to punt. And this is a good punt. Fielded at around the 20-yard line and finally brought down at the 25. And that was Maddox Lyles for the Redskins.
Tackled on the play by number 12, Nick Gutierrez.
So on their second drive of the game, Cougars unable to come up with any points. Let's see what the Redskins can do with their second drive as the quarterback Huffman marches back out onto the field.
Ball spot at the 27-yard line, first down and 10 for the Redskins.
Huffman sending lock in motion. And that looks like it's who he's going to target. Nope, he finds another receiver, but it is enough for the first down. Case Childs with the reception for the Redskins. And the big tight end number 88 fooled us all because it looked like when he went in motion that was going to lock. But it was intended for Childs, who was close to him. Regardless, enough for a first down as the 4-minute mark approaches here in the first quarter. Huffman looking for lock again, and it's another screen. And this time only gains about 2, if that.
Pass complete to number 23, Cameron Lauk. Tackle on the play by number 46, Ryan Stoller. Penalty marker on the play.
And looking at it, there is a flag down on the field. And it's going to be a hold going against the Redskins, so that it will negate that play. And the fans were upset with it. You could hear them. They certainly thought it was a holding, and the referees agree. So bring up a 1st and 20 now. And with this explosive offense of the Redskins, it almost doesn't matter the down and distance. You can almost always bet on them to get a first down. As here the ball carrier is brought up to the original line of scrimmage. And that's once again Cameron Locke.
First hit on the play by number 34, Gavin Ferkel. Gain of 6, second down and 13 for the Redskins.
So a second down and 13 now facing the Redskins. 3:14 remain in this first quarter. And the first drives by both teams, very exciting. Cougars took it first play of scrimmage, 75 yards, quarterback keeper from Colin Smith. And then we saw the Redskins go 60 yards. And Locke capped that one off with a 1-yard rush as Huffman has a receiver downfield going deep. And he makes the catch. A spectacular catch all the way down to the 40-yard line. Nate Elsass with the reception. And we talked about it. It really doesn't matter the down and distance for these Redskins. They're going to get that first down when they've got everything clicking. So with that first down, that gives the Redskins their 7th first down of the night. So far, no big plays out of Locke yet. And that's the key word, yet. I know he put up the touchdown as a 1-yard rush, but we haven't seen the explosive big runs we're used to seeing from him. And it's not going to change here because he is not the ball carrier.
Number 5, Jared Cockrell on the carry.
And it's only a 1-yard gain for Cockerell.
Tackle on the play by number 23, Ryan McCracken.
And as we mentioned, he's a good backup for the Redskins. Comes in when Locke is tired and needs a breather, and he's put in some touchdowns of his own this year. Cockerell actually has 6 touchdowns on the season, 367 rushing yards with 68 attempts. And those are solid numbers for a backup running back. As Locke will take it again on the counter, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage, bringing up a crucial 3rd and 10 for the Redskins. They want to keep putting the points on the Cougars because the Cougars had momentum after that first drive, and then the Redskins were able to swing it back in their direction after they scored. So now on this 3rd and 10, momentum is sitting there once again on top of that imaginary teeter-totter. We don't know which way it's going. And in football, like in many other sports, momentum and confidence, one of the crucial things, and it was even one of the keys to the game for the Cougars. Believe that they can win this one. We'll see if they can do it. And here's Huffman, and he's under pressure, and he's going to take off. Will it be enough for the first down? He's got some blockers downfield, and he'll be stopped short. Jacoby Kelly and Keegan Hardman gang tackles Huffman, and it'll bring up a 4th and 5. So let's see what the Redskins decide to do here. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Punting unit has not come out. So as the clock winds down on the first quarter, we've got a crucial 4th down. Both stands on each side, standing up, clapping, getting into it, and that's an early snap. Huffman wasn't ready for it, and a flag flies. He's looking for a receiver, in trouble. He's going to have to scramble, and he's got one, but it falls incomplete. And another flag flies, so we got some things to sort out here. A bunch of dirty laundry out on the field. Let's see what they converse and come up with. Regardless, it was an incomplete pass. So if it goes against the Redskins, it'll be negated, and the Cougars will get it back at the 40-yard line in great field position. And both the penalties are going against the Redskins. So the Cougars come up with a big turnover. 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. As we see the signals from the official. And the Cougars, of course, decline both penalties. So once again, the explosive quarterback, number 8, Colin Smith, marching back onto the field here shortly for the Cougars. He's huddled up with his team right now on the sideline. This will be the 3rd drive of the first half and the game for the Cougars. They stalled on their 2nd, course, their first was a big run by Smith, and he tries for another one, but is sacked in the backfield, losing about 4. And with that, the clock will strike 0 on the first quarter. 7-all is our score here at Egra Stadium. We'll be back at Van Wert after this.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Back here at Egra Stadium in Van Wert, tied up at 7-all in the second quarter, about underway. Our featured game here at Game Face Ohio is produced using our HD production truck and will air the night of the game at 11 p.m. on GFO. It'll also air on ABC Lima the Sunday after the game at 10 a.m. If you're a football fan, this is a great way to start your NFL Sunday. Game Face at 10, NFL pregame show at noon. Of course, you can always watch the broadcast online starting the following day. And we see a crazy broken play there. And it falls incomplete. Luckily, Colin Smith almost had a pick. And Huffman tracked that one down and almost had it. But it'll bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 for the Cougars. And we talked about it in the pregame. This is something they wanted to avoid. They wanted the 3rd and manageable, and so far they're not getting it. On their last drive, they stalled on a 3rd and manageable. It was 3rd and 2, but unable to do anything with it. So let's see what they do on this 3rd and 15. As Smith and Tussing both in the backfield for the Cougars. And Smith is pressured, but finally has his receiver downfield and caught. And it's close to the sticks. And it is a catch, but it depends where they mark it. And a great play by Josh Brown of the Cougars to come up with it. And it will be a 1st down. So the Cougars come up big on 3rd and 15 when they stalled on their last possession on 3rd and 2. So maybe that's what they need to do from now on. Just back up on 3rd down, and then maybe they'll get the 1st down. So Colin Smith and the offense waiting for the play call from the sideline. One of the offenses in the WBL, one of many that actually do that, wait for the play call from the sideline to be signaled in from coaches. And Smith has an empty backfield as Tussing comes in motion and takes the ball. And he's trying to get to the corner. He breaks some tackles and eventually is dropped shy of the 45.
Tackle on the play, number 9, Tyler Copeland. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 for the Cougars.
Our bonus game here at Game Face is produced by Editing in Post-Production, therefore is not scheduled to air until 6 p.m. on the Sunday after the game. That's on our GFO channel only. Occasionally, we may air the bonus game sooner. In a few minutes, we will tell you how you can find out about that. You can always watch the bonus game online starting the Monday after the game. So both sidelines signaling in the play call. 2nd down for the Cougars, and it's a screen. And this is to Kelly, and he comes up with the pass, but only a gain of 1, if that, on the play. So it'll bring up a 3rd down now for the Cougars. And I would say 3rd and 5 is manageable enough. So the Cougars come to the line of scrimmage, calling Smith in the backfield with Tussing. And the snap is high, but he comes up with it. And the pass is deflected. Great job getting in and deflecting the pass. Landon Hall getting in there.
Look like number 1, Landon Hall, has his hand on it. 4th down and 5 for the Cougars.
So with 9:50 remaining in the second quarter, the Cougars are faced with the difficult decision to punt the ball at midfield. And 23, McCracken on to do the kicking for the Cougars, and he's going to have to be careful where he sends this one, because the dangerous and explosive Cameron Locke is back to receive. And it's kicked right to him and fielded at the 10-yard line. Let's see what he does. And he's got some running room and some blocking downfield and picks up a great block. But a flag flies in and he does a spin move. And now he's free again. Finally brought down just shy of the 40-yard line. But there is laundry down on the play. So let's see what the officials say. And it looks like it's coming back. So both fans getting into it. The Wapak fans obviously booing the call. Cougar fans excited about it. But it looks like it will be a block in the back going against the Redskins, which will negate the big return. So it looked like the Redskins were going to set up in great field position once again. Unfortunately, not the case. Game Face Ohio is active on social media during the football season. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to be notified of breaking news, updates, and most importantly, to learn when highlight packages and broadcasts are available online. We will also send out tweets when we will air the bonus game early, so join us on social media to stay in the loop.
As a penalty, ball spotted at the 25-yard line, first down and 10 for the Redskins.
So a first down and 10 at the 25 for Huff and his offense, and he does hand the ball off and moving forward to about the 30. Once again, that's Jared Cockerell. So it'll bring up a second and manageable, about 2nd and 4. So both defenses after the first drive have done good holding. Let's see what the Cougars defense can do. It's their turn to do the same. They've been stopped twice, and Redskins have been stopped once, so they're going to try and do it again. But Locke breaks one and is brought down shy of the 50-yard line. And it looked like he was going to be gone, but a great job by Daniel Chuck of the Cougars to come up and make the stop. And that's the explosiveness that we talked about out of Locke and what he can do. And here's another play that goes for great yardage. Stops short of the sticks, and once again the backup Cockerell.
Gain of 7, second down and 3 for the Redskins.
So now 2nd and 3 for the Redskins. As Huffman has his offense under scrimmage. Cockerell and Locke in the backfield. And it'll be a play action, and Huffman under pressure and throws it deep, and it's caught. And breaking a tackle into the end zone, Nate Elsas. And Elsas breaks one, burns his defender, and puts 6 points up on the board for the Redskins. We talked about not seeing many big plays so far for the Redskins. Well, there's one right there. Nate Elsas. Meyer on to do the extra point duties. And his kick is up and good. So 14-7 is now the score. Redskins looking to put it on the Cougars. Let's see if they can answer back. We'll be back with the final game of the regular season here at Edgar Stadium. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill. where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Back here at Egra Stadium, Eli Alvarez on the call, and we're in Van Wert, and we saw the Redskins finally get a big play going on offense. 40-yard reception from Huffman to Elsas, and Jacoby Kelly was the man burnt by the reception of Elsas, and it was a great job. It was a short pass. It was short. Elsas had to come back and get it, but luckily for him, his man was nowhere near him, and the final result is 7 points for the Redskins. So Meyer kicks and Hardman receives. Dancing around and finally brought down. And the ball comes loose, but whistles blew before. The ball came loose, but the whistles were blowing the play dead. And after all that, there was a flag down. So it's a holding going against the Cougars, so it'll make their job of answering the Redskins that much more hard. As now they'll be set up inside their own red zone and spotted at the 8. So 7:35 remains until the half. This is something the Cougars did not want to see, and that was a big play out of the Redskins, so they got to come back with one of their own. We saw the quarterback, Colin Smith, do it on the first play of the game. He's not going to get a chance to do it on the first drive here as he hands it off to Tussing and only gains a few.
Talking about number 1, Landon Hall. Gain of 3 seconds.
Make sure to check out GameFaceOhio.com for information on our past and future broadcasts. You can watch highlight packages and full broadcasts, as well as find out information on our upcoming schedule. GameFace also maintains an extensive archive of its past broadcasts, so if you ever wanted to relive an exciting game, make sure to check out GameFaceOhio.com. And Smith with the QB keeper, and it's not going to be enough for the first down, so once again the Cougars in third down mode, third and manageable. And as far as third downs go for the Cougars, they're 1 of 3 converting, and that was on a 3rd and 15. The 2 they did not convert were on 3rd and short. So with the 3rd and 2, let's see if they can convert their second third down of the night. But based on the stats from our very own Rick Carlton, they're saying they're not going to be able to convert this because the past 2 were 3rd and 2s, but let's see if they can change that trend as Smith keeps it and then passes, and depending on the spot, it could be enough. So Nick Gutierrez the reception, and it will be enough for the first down. So the trend changes, and the Cougars get their second third down of the game. And that'll make the Cougars that'll make the Cougars have 4 first downs in total on the game. And once again, Smith with the QB keeper and dances around, and there's another first down. So make that 5 first downs now for the Cougars.
Result is good for a Cougar first down.
And once again, it's a QB keeper for Smith. before being brought down short of the first down. And the Cougars looking to put together a drive here that could put points up on the board right before the half. They definitely need it. We know how explosive and how fast this offense of Wapak can score. As we talked about last week, the Cougars won 56-25 against Defiance. 7 touchdowns in total for the quarterback Smith, but his fullback Tussing helping him out here, bringing it all the way down inside Redskins territory at the 40-yard line. And I was just about to say that when your quarterback scores most of your touchdowns or all of your touchdowns, that's not a good thing because that means you have no one else around you. But we just saw there Justice Tussing is a factor to be recognized too, as he picks up a crucial first down. It is a first down and 10. Our scoreboard would say otherwise. And it will be another handoff to Tussing. He breaks a few and gains 5. And tangled up was a Cougar and a Redskin there as the play ended.
Gain of 4, second down and 6 for the Cougars.
Caleb Contrell and Court Miracle getting tangled up there at the end of that play. No flags, though. And a lot of people would argue that it's football, so if something like that happens, there's no need to throw a flag. But more and more, it seems like with the game of football, you want to be more careful, safe of the players and you know, make sure they're okay. But we do have a flag for a false start going against the Cougars, so it'll back them up 5 yards. And the Wapak student section reminding the Cougars that they cannot do that, bringing up a 2nd and 10. And after that penalty, it makes the Cougar that puts the Cougars at 3 penalties for 20 yards. As we mentioned, this is usually the quarter that the Cougars shine. 116 points in total this year in the second quarter for the Cougars. By far the most of any other quarter. As we see a broken play end up with a loss and bringing up a 3rd and 11. Tussing eventually comes up with the ball. And the Cougars are lucky. But going back to our scoring stats, the Cougars 116 points in the second quarter and only 20 in the fourth quarter. So far, no points in the second quarter for the Cougars and 7 in the first. Meanwhile, for opponents against Van Wert, 62 points in the second quarter and 53 in the fourth quarter. The Cougars hoping that trend does not continue tonight as they want to score points regardless of the quarter. And they want to make sure that they don't give up points late in the fourth quarter or even late in the third quarter. So after that, it'll bring up a 4th down. And the Cougars are going to stay out on the field. The Cougar offense is, and they're going to go for it. Both cheering sections standing on their feet. A crucial 4th and 6. It is only the second quarter, but this could be the difference between a 7-point ball game at half and possibly a tied ball game. And Colin Smith will take it. And he's pressured. He looks for a screen. It's picked off by the big lineman. And he's going. He's running. Corey Crawford with the interception. Finally brought down. And they had that one snuffed out as the big man comes up with the interception. A little awkward running with the ball. But it gives the ball back to the Redskins on the 4th down and 6. Coming up big. So a defensive lineman's dream, intercepting the ball. And he brings it back into Cougar territory and sets up Huffman in the offense with great field position late in this second quarter. And what a swing of momentum that we just saw. We talked about it. That could have been the difference between 7 points and a tie ball game at halftime. Well, now, after that play, it could result in a 14-point ball game if the Redskins could put up points here before the half. And a timeout is called by the Redskins, and the play clock almost ran out on them, but with that timeout, we will take one as well. 14-7, Redskins lead it here at Edgar Stadium.
The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
For over 100 years, the Stolly Insurance Team has been looking out for you.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country. And together, we can customize an insurance program that will offer you the best coverage for the best premium.
Let us look out for you. Give us a call for a personalized proposal today.
Proudly featuring Motorist Insurance, Stolly Insurance in Lima, Wapak, Salina, and Lakeview. Representing Motorist Insurance Group and other fine insurance companies. Stolly Insurance.
Back here at Edgar Stadium, Eli Alvarez on the call, and the Redskins threatening once again late in the second quarter after the interception by the lineman Corey Crawford on that 4th down and 6. And here's Huffman throwing it deep, and it looks like it's picked off. And it is. What a great play, athletic play. And that's the quarterback, number 8, Colin Smith, going up and taking it away from Locke. Colin Smith might have made the defensive play of the year for the Cougars, intercepting the ball in the back of the end zone. My, how times have changed after just a few plays. The Cougars were close to scoring. They had a 4th and 6 opportunity, then throw the interception, and then the Redskins threaten as well, and they throw an interception. No one wants to score here late in the second quarter. So after that interception, that makes 2 turnovers in total for the Redskins. Another was a 4th down conversion that they did not get early in the first quarter. And Tussing, the ball carrier, once again for the Cougars. So the clock continues to wind down, now under 2 minutes, and the Cougars need to score before halftime. Wapak will get the ball back to start the second half. So the Cougars might have to air this one out. We know that their run game is effective with Colin Smith and Justice Tussing, but they're going to have to look to their wide receivers, Nick Gutierrez, Ryan Stoller, and Josh Brown, to possibly make some plays with their hands alongside Keegan Hardman. And once again, another handoff to Tussing, and it goes nowhere, and the clock continues to run. And that's a little bit of a head scratcher, especially on 2nd down. They decide to run the ball instead of pass, and I know they've got 3 timeouts left, but now they set themselves up with a 3rd and 3, but they take a timeout. So with 1:13 remaining until halftime, the Redskins lead it, but the Cougars are looking to answer right back after the crucial interception by Colin Smith. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Back here at Edgar Stadium in the heart of Van Wert, and Colin Smith, before the break, came up with a crucial interception. He threw one of his own, then he went and got it right back. So now they have a 3rd and 4 that they have to deal with, and Smith will keep it, and it looks like enough for the first down and much more, and he's tripped and brought down at the 40-yard line.
Tripped up on the play by number 10, Drew Ball.
And the Cougars looking to rush, get the play call in fast as the clock stops for the chains to set, but starts again on the official's whistle. So Smith will keep it once again, and another big gain, and drops a shoulder and picks up the first down, or close to it, depending where they mark him. However, flags fly. And it's going against the Cougars, so that'll back them up. And it's a false start call. So with 55 seconds remaining, the Cougars have a first down, but they've got 10 yards, because it backs up from the original line of scrimmage. Or 15. The officials messed me up there on where they were spotting the ball, so no, it will be a 1st and 15. It's not the first time this season that we've been confused on yardage and penalties. It's happened, it seems like, almost every game we've been to. But the clock continues to run, now at 50 seconds remaining. And Smith fakes the pass and keeps it. And he's dancing around and cannot get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to run once again. And the Cougars aren't calling any timeouts anytime soon. So they're letting the clock run down, it looks like, before they make this play. It looks like they're not in any hurry to try and score. This is a head scratcher for me, and it's a broken play. No one knows what's going on. Smith ends up keeping it. It looked like he wanted to hand it off, and it'll bring up a 3rd down, and still no timeout by the Cougars, and the clock's running all the way down. So that's going to end the first half. So a head scratching in to the first half of play. And after the first half, the Redskins lead it 14-7. We'll be back with the Game Face Ohio halftime show after this.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Back here at Egra Stadium in the heart of Van Wert, Ohio, where the Redskins currently lead it 14-7. And let's recap real quick how we got to this point. Colin Smith, a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game for the Cougars. Got them at 7-0, and then Wapak answered with a 60-yard drive that was capped off by a 1-yard rush by who else? Cameron Locke. And then we saw the 40-yard reception from Nate Elsass to help the Redskins get the lead, and that's how it stands, 14-7 here in the first half. Looking at the unofficial stats, starting with the visiting team, Redskins, 5 of 8 passing the ball, 9 first downs in total, 1 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, 0 of 1 on 4th down conversions, 2 total turnovers, 1 interception, and that was by Colin Smith in the back of the end zone, and then 1 4th down conversion that did not go their way. As far as penalties goes, 4 of them for the Redskins for 45 yards. 2 touchdowns, as we mentioned, 1 passing, 1 rushing. And the defensive side of things for the Redskins, not stellar, but have held the Cougars to 7 points so far. 1 sack and 2 tackles for losses. The home team, the Van Wert Cougars, Colin Smith, 4 of 8 throwing the ball, 7 first downs, 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversions, and 0 of 1 on fourth downs as well. They have one interception and, of course, the one missed fourth down conversion, so it puts 2 total turnovers for the Cougars, same as the Redskins. Penalty yards almost exactly the same. 4 penalties for the Cougars in the first half, 25 yards, and the 1 rushing touchdown by Colin Smith. As far as the defense goes for the Cougars, not much to report. 1 tackle for a loss in that first half. And we're looking for a lot more action, hopefully, to come in this second half. We'll be back with the second half kickoff from Edgar Stadium. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
And cadet programs.
Back at Edgar Stadium, and during halftime, the demasking of Claude, the mascot here at Van Wert, a proud tradition. And the second half getting ready to kick underway as the Redskins lead at 14-7. And the Cougars are looking for some answers, and so far they haven't found any for Cameron Locke. He's been explosive all over the place, but yet only 1 touchdown, and that's a 1-yard touchdown that came from a 60-yard drive from the offense, and Nate Elsass punching in the 40-yard touchdown reception. He burned a defender, got all the way down, and scored the touchdown. So it's going to be interesting to see what Wapak does coming out of the break. Coach Moyer obviously has his Redskins ready to go, and they will receive to start the second half of the ball game. This is just a reminder that, of course, there is also the featured game here at Game Face Ohio, and that is going on as well, and you can catch that on GameFaceOhio.com or the YouTube channel. And this week's featured game is St. Mary's at OG. Once again, 2 teams that possibly have playoff contention hopes. St. Mary's lost a difficult one to Wapak, in fact, last week, and they're looking to bounce back against OG, but both of those teams need a lot to happen for them to make the playoffs. So a win for either of those teams will be good for them tonight. But that is our featured game, St. Mary's at OG, and of course, Dan and Paul will be on the call for that one. So Elsass and Locke, we're back to receive alongside Maddox Lyles for the Redskins, and the kicker for the Cougars, Gavin Gardner, the senior, coming on. And he will kick it away, and we're about ready to start the second half.
Kicking off the Cougars is number 22, Gavin Gardner.
And we mentioned this earlier, but never hurts to revisit. The Cougars on the season, 71 points in total in the first quarter, 116 in the second, 78 in the third, and only 20 in the fourth quarter. And as far as opponents for the Cougars, opponents have scored 21 points in the first quarter, 62 in the second, 38 in the third, and 53 in the fourth quarter. So I don't know if statistics mean a lot. Obviously, they give you an indicator, but anything can happen in high school football as that ball goes through the hands and into the end zone. So it'll set up the Redskins at the 20-yard line on their first drive of the second half. So revisiting the first half, what happened on the first drive of the first half? Well, plain and simple, Colin Smith took it 75 yards for a touchdown rush up the near side of the field. So let's see what the Redskins can do on their first play of the second half. And it will be a handoff to Locke, and he keeps it and brought down shy of the 25.
Gain of 2, second down and 8 for the Redskins.
So a 2nd down and 8 for Wapak, and the Cougars defense looking to hold here. They're down 7. They need a big stop, and we have a reverse that's going for a 1st down and much more. Court Miracle, the ball carrier, stopped at the 35. And that's exactly what the Redskins were looking for. This is just a reminder that the Wapakoneta Chamber of Commerce recently held a Meet the Candidates night featuring debates between the Wapak candidates and speakers about the levies on the November ballot. Replays are on Game Face Ohio twice daily through Election Day, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Huffman has Locke once again close to the sticks, and it will be enough for a 1st down. And Andy Hammond with the stop for the Cougars. So a 1st down, and the Redskins are moving on their first drive. The United Way of All-Glaze County reminds you that great things happen when we live united. When filling out this year's pledge card, be sure to give where you live and designate All-Glazed County. United Way, definitely a great cause, so be sure to give. And Huffman hands it off to Locke, and he's got some room to run. And finally being brought down shy of the 45. Not enough for a 1st down, but sets the Redskins up in great field position.
46, Ryan Stoller. Gain 7, 2nd down and 3 for the Redskins.
One thing that's worth mentioning, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame, but didn't touch on it a lot. The Cougars defense has some trouble with that, with the running game, and especially Cameron Locke so far, but it seems like they've done a great job to this point holding him. But that could change quick, and look for it to change. So we've got a 3rd down now, and the Cougars looking to get off of the field. And of course, next week is when the playoffs start, and Game Face Ohio will continue to cover the Redskins should they make it, and the Rough Riders as well. Of course, the Redskins will make it. Wapak will host if Wapak hosts their next game, that will be featured game here at Game Face Ohio on a Friday night. So Cameron Locke once again with the carry, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. And we're talking playoffs, and Wapak obviously is in. As we mentioned earlier, St. Mary's got a crucial game right now against OG. A lot of things need to happen for them to get in, but if they both do, of course, we will cover it here at Game Face. And another team talking possible playoffs are the Cougars, and they're dealing with a 4th and 1 right now. Before they can talk about playoffs, they need a lot of things to happen, and it starts with a win here tonight against the Redskins. And the Redskins decide, change their mind, and they're going to go ahead and punt it. So the explosive Cameron Locke will punt it away as well. It seems like he does everything for this Redskins team. Ryan Stoller back to return. And it's a kick that goes off the side of the foot, bounces, and eventually rolls out of bounds close to the 20-yard line.
Ball's out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Cougars.
Colin Smith will take over at the 20-yard line for the Cougars. And we're still kind of scratching our heads on what happened on that last drive of the half, as the Cougars didn't use any timeouts and they let the clock run down. They were moving the ball, but they weren't doing it through the air. They were running it. So let's see what they have planned for their first offensive possession. And it will be a quarterback keeper, and Smith rolls out, and he's got a receiver, but it falls incomplete. Haven't seen many passes from the Cougars in this game so far. And after that, that actually makes Colin Smith 4 of 9 throwing the ball. And that might be the reason why he's not really finding his targets. He's doing a better job running. And Smith once again will keep it and nothing doing for him. So it'll bring up a 3rd and about 8. So this is an unusual game and the aspect of both teams scored early, but now both teams' defenses stopping and stalling or making the offense stall. And both crowds not really sure what to think. We've got a 3rd and 8. They're trying to get into it. The Cougars need this one. And Smith back to pass, and he finds Tussing. Is he going to have enough for the first down? And he trucks over a defenseman for the Redskins and gets the first down. And that looked like Cameron Locke on the far side of the field went in for the tackle, and the big man Tussing lowered the shoulder and prevented the hit and picked up the first down. So great play and a show of strength by Justice Tussing, the fullback for the Cougars. And Smith will keep it this time. It looked like he was going to give it away, but he is brought down, only a gain of 1. Wapak's annual Halloween parade was held last week. You can watch a replay of the parade on Game Face Ohio through the end of this weekend. Check local listings for the time. And here, finally, Colin Smith gives it to Tussing. It looked like he was going to keep it, didn't know what he was going to do, but Tussing keeps it and it brings up a 3rd and manageable. The Cougars have been tasked with a lot of 3rd downs, and they're only 3 of 6 on the night. So 50%. And the Cougars get the play call off, and it's almost intercepted. And Colin Smith was red. Nate Elsass knew exactly where that was going and jumped it, just unable to come up with the interception. That would have been huge for Wapak if they would have got it. So the Cougars will punt it away on 4th and 4. Their first drive of the second half stalls. And the punt is close to being blocked. Great pressure, but it's high. And eventually fielded by Cameron Locke. And he drops it. The ball is loose, but a flag flies. So a little confusion on the play. It looked like Locke initially dropped it and then fell back on it, but I think the flag is going to be for interference. And the officials talking it over. So it's going to be an interference call going against the Cougars. And they're saying that they did not give Locke enough room to come up with it. So it moves the Redskins way up the field at the 49-yard line. And that's where they will start their second drive of the second half. And Huffman will hand the ball off, and being tackled by Ryan Stoller is Cockerell, only gains a few. And Ryan Stoller is one of those unsung heroes for the Cougars that plays linebacker mainly. You'll see him a little bit on offense at wide receiver, but he's a hustle player. He's someone that you see out there making plays almost all the time on defense. And he does a great job getting to the ball no matter where it's at, and we're seeing it tonight. Plenty tackles for him so far. The Cougars defense as a whole, though, struggling. Only 1 tackle for a loss this whole game by the Cougar defense. And another counter, and this time the Cougars defense saw it coming and stops it short of the first down, and that was Miracle, the carrier.
First hit, number 7, Chris Hart. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Redskins.
So the Cougars dealt with a third down. Now it's time for the Redskins to deal with one of their own. Let's see what they do. 3rd and 2, ball at the 43. This could be a huge defensive stand for the Cougars. Redskins looking to get the first down and possibly put more points up on the board. And it's Locke that's going to get it, and it looks like he has enough and more as he gets across the 40-yard line. First down for the Redskins.
Tackle play number 46, Ryan Stoller. Draw play is good for a Redskin, first down.
So we talked about it a little bit in the first half. Cameron Locke so far hasn't broke anything big, which is a relief for Cougar fans, but capable of doing it at any time. And Huffman's going to keep it, and he's ankle tackled. And that is a great job by Andy Hammond to get in there and stop that one short. And he ankle tackled Huffman, only gains 1, so brings up 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9 for the Redskins. And Huffman wasn't ready for the snap, so it's going to be a false start. And it looked like everybody but the quarterback knew what the count was. Regardless, it's a false start penalty going against the Redskins, so that'll back them up even further now. 5 yards to be exact, so bringing up a 2nd and 14. And yet another penalty for the Redskins. So they're 5 penalties for 50 yards now. Huffman dropping way back, and it looks like a screen was planned, but it's a broken play. But Locke sneaks out of the backfield and gets the first down, but there's laundry down. So it looked like a broken play. Cameron Locke sneaks out of the backfield, picks up the first down, but the penalty is going against the Redskins, so it won't matter. So it'll drop them back even more. Still will be 2nd down. And it's going to go against the Redskins for the illegal man downfield. So that's 6 penalties now for the Redskins in total. So now that makes it 55 yards in total. So facing a 2nd and 19. Huffman looking to get something going, and as we mentioned, it almost doesn't matter what down and distance you give this offense. They almost always get first downs when they need it. Don't expect this to be any different as we see a Cougar try to hustle off the field before the play was snapped, and Huffman has his receiver, Locke, and overthrows him. So it'll bring up a 3rd and Miles. And the pass falls incomplete, so now Huffman is 8 of 12. And a flag flies, and not sure what this is for. It came in very late. Let's see what the officials say. And they're going to wave the flag off. So I'm not really sure what the flag was for in the first place, but they're going to wave off the flag regardless, and I think it might be for 12 men on the field. I think they might have counted and might have thought there had been 12 players for the Cougars, but after a recount, they say, nope, there is 11. So it's still a 3rd and 19 for the Redskins. So the crowd getting into this one. This is crucial for both teams, and they're going to hand it off to Locke. And, of course, he's not going to get it, but that could have been one of those things where they're just looking to get a few more yards, maybe possibly give their punter a better opportunity if they do end up punting the ball. And they are going to. So after that, Wapak is only 2 of 5 on third down conversions. You know, I got to tell you, this game is a lot closer than what I thought it would be at this point, and a lot of people did. As the third quarter is coming close to an end, I don't think many thought the Cougars would only be down by 1. And this one will be fielded by Ryan Stoller. He didn't call a fair catch. I think everybody thought he did. And a late flag comes in, and it looks like for a personal foul. So it looks like a personal foul is going against the Cougars. So Stoller comes up with a big return, but it's negated. No, they're going to call just a holding. So it is a holding going against the Cougars, which will back them up. Only a tick over 2 minutes remaining until the end of the third quarter. So as we mentioned, a lot of people didn't see this one being this close, this late, but that can be a testament to the close losses that the Cougars have had. They're a 5-4 record on the year, very easily be in the same position at Wapak at 9-0, with 2 of their losses coming by 1 point and the other 2 by a touchdown. So Colin Smith back out onto the field, has a first down from his own 16-yard line, and it looks like he's going to keep it. It looked like he was going to give it to Tussing, and he has enough for the first down. And I tell you what, that boy is dangerous. They run the read option, and when he keeps it, look out. You know, every once in a while they'll give it to Tussing as well, and he's a threat. But Colin Smith, you give him some running room, he can make some moves, make things happen. We saw it on the first play of the game. Unfortunately for the Cougars, and fortunately for the Redskins, we haven't seen it since. And he will roll out this time, near side of the field, and has his receiver, Kelly, with the reception, and it's enough for the first down. So the Cougars trying to get things going. With that reception, Smith is now 6 of 11 throwing the ball. And the Cougars have 10 first downs on the night. The Cougars taking their time getting the play call in, and this third quarter went very fast so far. We're approaching a minute. Neither team has scored in this third quarter, which is unusual for Wapak. And Smith will keep it once again, and he cuts to the outside before finally being brought down. So the Cougars driving something that they're not accustomed to doing. They usually are big plays and a couple smaller plays to maybe punch them in. But so far they've done a great job of driving down the field. Cougars are spread out, trips to the right of Smith with one to the left of him, and it's another QB keeper, and he's got another hole and some running room. Great blocking downfield, and he stopped right at the sticks. Let's see where they mark it. And based off the spot right now, it looks like it'll be third down and short, and they're going to bring the chains out for a measurement. So 13 seconds remain in the third quarter, and the officials take an official timeout to take a look at where this ball is spotted. This will be a close one. And based off the spot, now they finally get the chain set. It is a first down. Okay, so intense there. Very suspenseful. The officials taking their time. But it is a first down. So the Cougars get it at the 48 with 10 yards to work with. 4 downs and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the clock will start on the official's whistle, and it looks like the Cougars are not going to run another play. So that's going to end the third quarter. 14-7 still is our score. Redskins lead it. No one scored in the third quarter. Hopefully that'll change in the fourth quarter. We'll be back to Edgar Stadium after this. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Back here at Edgar Stadium in the heart of Van Wert, Eli Alvarez on the call. And the Cougars picked up a crucial first down, and they've switched sides. And that third quarter went by extremely fast. If you didn't know better, you would think the 30-point rule was in effect and that the clock was a continuous clock. Not the case. Both teams just running the ball a lot and staying inbounds. As Tussing gets it here, and he breaks the tackle and is brought down at the 40-yard line, short of the sticks. So it'll bring up a second down. And this is something to note. Our last 2 Game Face Ohio broadcasts have been 30 points or more games. We've seen a continuous clock. Actually, make that the last 3. We've seen the 30-point rule be brought into effect. I have a feeling that's not going to happen tonight unless either team goes on a tear and scores a bunch of points here in the last 11 and a half minutes. I doubt that happens, though. As Smith hands it off to Tussing. So Tussing once again brings it close to the sticks, and possibly another first down. If not, it'll bring up a third down, and nope, they're going to move the sticks. So first down for the Cougars. They are driving. Still down by a touchdown. And that'll make the 12th first down for the Cougars tonight after the Tussing run. Cougars in no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. They're playing a team that's undefeated, and they're only down by 7, and the Cougars stand at a 5-4 record. So this is big for the fans of Van Wert, and if you're a Wapak fan, you've got to be sweating just a little bit. But you can also take solace in the fact that if Van Wert scores and you get the ball back, you have Cameron Locke on your team. So under 10 and a half minutes now remain in this one. Smith, empty backfield, and he's going to keep it and finds a hole, but brought down just across the 30-yard line. So it's a third down now for the Cougars, close to the first down. It's probably going to be about a 3rd and 1. So let's see what they dial up here. This has been a very long drive to this point. It started in the third quarter, expanded into the fourth. And this is, in my opinion, this is either going to Smith or Tussing. And I would assume they give it to the big back Tussing. And they do. And he tries to bounce it outside and is stopped short. So he tried to run sideways and lose his yards instead of just running straight forward. So it'll bring up a 4th down now for the Cougars. That was a big stop by the Redskins defense. And the Cougars offense will stay on the field. The Cougars are now only 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. And they've got a 4th down to deal with now. 0 of 1 on 4th down conversions in this game. The last time they tried to go for it on 4th down, Smith threw an interception. Tussing in motion. And Smith is going to keep it, and he's going to be stopped. And it looks like he's going to be stopped short, depending on the spot. The signal looks like it's going to be a turnover, and the Redskins will have the ball back. So the Redskins defense comes up big on 4th down. Smith unable to pick up the 1st down. He's done a great job to this point of getting yards, but the defense comes up big for the Redskins, and the offense will take over at the 29-yard line. Still a lot of time remaining, but the defense of the Cougars now have to step up. And the Redskins offense needs to try to put some points up on the board. And they're going to do so, hopefully, by giving it to Cameron Locke. Or, excuse me, that was to Cockerell. But Cameron Locke definitely in the back of everybody's mind, especially on the coaching staff of the Cougars. That was one of the things that they talked about as their keys to the game, to contain Locke. And so far, I would say they've done a great job of it, restricting him to only 1 touchdown, and that was from 1 yard out. Keep in mind, Locke has eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark rushing. So he's definitely an explosive runner, and we see him get it once again, and it's going to be a 1st down. So the Cougars took some time on their last drive to run the clock off, and then they gave it up. That could come back to bite them. But they've still got their 3 timeouts, and we've still got just a little over 8 minutes remaining. By no means is this a back and forth game. Both teams have just scored, 3 times in total. Not much excitement if you like scoring, but the defensive battle by both teams have been amazing as we see Ryan Stoller stop Miracle after a gain of 5.
Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4 for the Redskins.
So a 2nd and 4 now for the Cougars defense. And the Redskins looking to get the 1st down. And they fumble the ball, and it's loose. And who's got it? The Cougars say they do. Who do the officials say? They're still fighting for it. No one knows, still at the bottom of the pile. And the ruling is Cougar football. So Aaron Huffman fumbles the snap. Keegan Hardman recovers it for the Cougars. Or excuse me, Gavin Cross, number 56, recovers it for the Cougars. And that is big. The Cougars get it right back now at the 45-yard line. So they get to restart their drive almost exactly where they left off. And we've got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned, the defensive battle has been going on since late in the 1st quarter. Not much scoring, but both teams' defenses have come up big, and the Cougars' defense just helped them out big time there. As Smith once again is going to keep it and tries to dance around a few defenders and is brought down. Looks like he only gained a few. So we've got a great setting and a great game for the last game of the regular season here at Egra Stadium. Eli Alvarez on the call. And the Cougars down by 7 with 6:45 remaining. The Wapak defense looking to come up big after giving up a interception. And Smith has got his receiver downfield, and it's Stoller, and he comes up with it. And finally brought down at the 15. Ryan Stoller coming up with the reception. Colin Smith throwing him a bullet. And Cougar fans everywhere are elated right now. Still down by 7, but they're inside the red zone. As we mentioned, the Cougars only 20 points through their first 9 games of the season in the fourth quarter. 7 so far in this one, and that came in the first quarter. And Smith is going to keep it again, and he's brought down close to the 10-yard line. So he picks up around 5. What a game we have for you. I was just about to say what a great atmosphere we've got here. The floodlights are on. The crowd is on the fence. Both stands are going crazy. And the Cougars offense looking to punch it in right here. 2nd and 5. Let's see if the defense of the Redskins can hold. Smith will hand, nope, he'll keep it. He dances around one tackler and he's into the end zone. My, oh my, that man, Colin Smith, putting 6 points up on the board for the Cougars. 14-13 now with 5:27 remaining. What a ball game we have here at Egra Stadium. And now here's the crucial moment. Gavin Gardner on to do the point after for the Cougars to tie this one up. McCracken on the hold. And it's a good hold. And the kick almost blocked, but it's good. Great pressure by the defense, or the special teams unit of Wapak to get in there. Cannot come up with the block. So we're tied at 14 all with 5:27 remaining. We'll be back with the final minutes of action here on the last game of the regular season from Egra Stadium. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill, where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Back at Egra Stadium in the heart of Van Wert, Eli Alvarez on the call. And we just saw Colin Smith punch it in for his second rushing touchdown of the night, tying the ball game at 14 all. A lot of time left, 5:27 remaining for Cameron Locke in the offense of the Redskins to answer, and Locke's going to try to do it with a big return here, and he's got a hole. He's up the far side. He's got the kicker to beat, and he sidesteps him, and he's still inbounds. Nope, the official's going to whistle it dead, but he gets across the 50-yard line. And talk about turnarounds. Cameron Locke returning it all the way to the Cougars' 40-yard line. A 60-yard kickoff return. This man is incredible. The senior wearing number 23 is going to be missed next year. This Redskin offense is going to have no identity without him, it seems like. And he sets them up in great field position. They've got the Cougars defense now on their feet, backed up against the wall, literally the Cougar pride wall. As Locke once again gets the handoff and is shoved out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. They're going to say more at the 35-yard line. It looks like where they're going to spot it. So 5:09 remains. And what a way to end the season if this is in fact the Cougars' final game. We know it's not the Redskins. We know they're going to the playoffs. But what a great final game of the regular season. These two teams just putting it all out there. Both defenses coming up big when they have to, and the offense is doing the same as Huffman keeps it and has enough for the first down. And he breaks one and is inside the 10-yard line. So the Redskins are answering right back to the Cougar touchdown that tied it up. Remember, Wapak's got a phenomenal kicker, and Tristan Meyer, who's getting looks from colleges. The name that's really been circulating around is Purdue. So they know he has a leg. So even if Wapak cannot punch it in here, you got to think they're going to go to their star kicker. But they have a first down at the 9-yard line. And Locke gets it once again. He breaks the tackle, and he's into the end zone. 6 points up on the board for the Redskins. Cameron Locke, this man is clutch. Locke takes the kickoff return 60 yards down to the 40 and caps it off with a 9-yard rush to give the Redskins the lead once again. 21-14 is now the score. Wapak answered the Cougars, and they answered them quickly. 4:34 remains here at Egra Stadium. You're watching Game Face Ohio. Back here at Egra Stadium, the home of the Cougars. And Cameron Locke punched in the touchdown from 9 yards out and gave the Redskins the lead. Once again, Eli Alvarez here on the call for this final game of the regular season between what seems to be two evenly matched opponents in the Redskins and Cougars. The Cougars now have another chance to try to even the score, and this return may help them. Brought out to around the 25. Jacoby Kelly. Jacoby Kelly, only a sophomore, one of the youngest players on this Van Wert roster, at least the starting roster. Him and Jordan Danielchuk, the only sophomores. The rest, a pair of juniors, and then the rest are seniors. So it is senior night for the Cougars. They're looking to go out with a bang. And I would say they've done a great job so far of trying to do that, but they trail at this point thanks to Cameron Locke and his 2 touchdowns, along with Nate Elsass's 40-yard reception. And Tussing once again, the ball carrier, and he'll be dropped just before the 30-yard line. Got to catch my breath now after that one. The past couple minutes have been crazy on both sides of the ball. I'm glad the offense has taken a minute to get the play call in, because I need one as well. The third quarter wasn't very action-packed, but we've seen it here in the fourth quarter. Both teams answering one another, and here goes Smith deep again, and he has his receiver. It is caught. Josh Brown with the reception. My goodness. Players on both sides of the ball and both sidelines coming up big when they have to. The Cougars bring the ball across midfield. Under 4 minutes remain in this one. We've got a thriller in store. And Smith will keep it, and he hurdles a defender, and he's looking to cut it outside, but is not going to go anywhere. Dylan Kuehl finally brings him out, and there's a flag thrown, and it looks like Coach Recker got a little too excited over there on the sidelines. And the flag is thrown, and I think this is going to go against the Cougars' unsportsmanlike conduct, I would assume. Coach Recker not too happy. It's a sideline warning, actually, going against the Cougars. I mean, as it is, obviously that penalty is just a warning and no yardage going against the Cougars. But as it is, the sidelines here at Van Wert are very narrow. I know our sideline camera operator, Nick Bailey, had mentioned about running back and forth at halftime. And here goes Smith running back and forth as he is up to the 25 for the first down. But with the sidelines being a little narrow here at Van Wert, sometimes, you know, the teams creep out a little farther than they're supposed to be onto the field. And we saw a sideline warning. Once again, just a warning, no yards going against the Cougars. But Colin Smith picks up the first down, and the Cougars are threatening once again. Under 3 minutes remaining in this one. We've got an exciting finish in store, I can tell. And Smith is going to keep it. Only gains about 5. Both teams on the night have 16 first downs. So talk about being evenly matched. Basically, both offenses doing the exact same thing. The Redskins doing it just a little bit faster. And the Cougars threatening once again. They're at the 20-yard line. Inside the red zone. And Smith has his receiver, and it's caught. Once again, Stoller. He came up with the big reception in the previous drive that got the Cougars down and put 6 points up on the board for him. He does it again. And the Cougars have the ball inside the 10-yard line. Fans on the edge of their seats on both sides. Cougar fans standing up. Smith will keep it once again, but a flag comes in, and I'm assuming a false start. And yep, that's what they're going to give. So that'll back the Cougars up. They had a 1st and 8. They'll bring up a 1st and 13 now. So a minute 50 remaining. The Cougars have already played one overtime game this year against Salina. It went into double overtime, and they ended up getting the better of the Bulldogs. If they can punch it in here and cap it off with the extra point, we might see another one. What an exciting ball game we've got in store. Colin Smith rolling out, looking for his intended receiver, and he's got someone in the back of the end zone, and it falls incomplete. So once again, Josh Brown, the intended receiver, cannot come up with it. 2nd down now for the Cougars, and the defense of the Redskins looking for a goal line stand. The crowd up on their feet on both sides. This is high school football at its finest. Colin Smith with receivers spread to both sides, and he's looking for his receiver, and he's got Tussing his check down, but he drops it. He was wide open, and it looked like he tried to take off and run with it before he caught it, and it's incomplete. Definitely at this point 4-down territory for the Cougars. So what do you do if you're Coach Recker? Do you decide to go with the short yardage and give your offense some room to work with on 4th down, or do you go for the touchdown on both plays? Spread out once again are the Cougars. 2 receivers to each side. Smith looking for a receiver, and he's got him in the end zone. It's caught! The Cougars coming up big once again. And Josh Brown with the reception. This kid has come up big time after time for the Cougars. Who said that Colin Smith is the Cougars' only weapon? The Cougar coaching staff thinking it over. They're going to go for 2 here. 1:09 remaining. They want to talk this one over. They're going to take a timeout. Are they going to go for 2? They're facing a team that is perfect on the season. 1:09 remains here at Egra Stadium. When we come back, we'll see if the Cougars decide to tie it up or go for 2. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, pop money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Back here at Egra Stadium, Eli Alvarez on the call. And need to take a minute to compose ourselves. The Cougars called a timeout after scoring a touchdown, and they are going for 2. So they're looking to try to win it right here on a 2-point conversion. The Redskins' perfect season on the line. And another timeout's going to be called. No, a penalty flag going. So there's some laundry down on the field, and it looks like it's going against the Redskins. Let's see what the official call is. But if it is the case, it'll move the Cougars even closer. And it will. So that penalty going against the Redskins. The Cougars now have only a yard to deal with. Let's see if they change up their play call. Looks like they're just going to stick with it. This is a big, big play. Probably the most intense play this high school football season, and Colin Smith is going to keep it. He bounces to the outside, and he's stopped. Is he into the end zone? No! They're saying he didn't get it. He tried to dive into the end zone and comes up short. The defense of the Redskins coming up big. A 1:09 remains. And the Redskins stop the Cougars. 21-20 is the score. We'll be back with the final minute of play here at Egra Stadium. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Back here at Egra Stadium, Eli Alvarez on the call, and the Cougars just missed the 2-point conversion that would have given them the lead and possibly ruined the Redskins' perfect season. But the Redskins hold on to the lead. They're up by 1. And we have an onside kick coming up for the Cougars. So the senior kicker, Gavin Gardner, entrusted in coming up with the onside kick. And it's a high kick, and it looks like the Redskins come up with it, and they fall on it right at the 50-yard line, but a penalty flag comes in at the end, and it looks like it's going against the Cougars. So Jace Copeland coming up with the onside kick, and the Redskins, all they have to do is run a couple plays, hold on to the ball, and there's a penalty going against the Cougars. What a game we had tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And on senior night here at Van Wert, the seniors come up just a little short, and the Redskins look like they're going to hang on and prevail. What a great game all around. With this win, the Redskins will end the regular season at 10-0 if they hold on to the ball here. And it will be handed off to Cameron Locke, and he's got a hole and brought down at the 30-yard line, and the Cougars quickly call a timeout. So this is intriguing. You know, the Cougars have 2 timeouts left. Possibly, just possibly, they'll have a chance to get the ball back here at the end of this game. But they'll have to drive almost the length of the field to do it. I don't care what they say. I think out of all 10 games that I know I've done personally here at Game Face, this one is probably the most exciting. What a great way to end the regular season. Now it's not over. The Redskins have a 2nd and 5, and the Cougars still have a timeout left. If they can stop the Redskins from getting a first down, they can possibly get the ball back with very little time remaining. They'll have to drive the length of the field, though, to do it. And personally, going back to that 2-point conversion, I think it was the right call. You're playing a team that's undefeated. You got a 5-4 record. Your best hope to getting in the playoffs is beating this team. You may say kicking the field goal is a safe move, but the Cougars went for the win, and they find themselves down. And it looks like Cameron Locke picked up the first down on that last play. So the Cougars take their final timeout of the game, 57 seconds left, and the Redskins will come out of the timeout in victory formation. What a great season to this point here on Game Face Ohio. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in to watch all of our games throughout the season, and this is a great way to end the regular season. Depending on what happens in St. Mary's, or I'm sorry, in Ottawa-Glandorf, we could possibly be covering St. Mary's next week as well. We're not sure. A lot of things have to happen. But with this kneel down and maybe one more to come, the Redskins will go into the playoffs undefeated. What a great game from both teams. Exciting for the Redskins. They hold on to the 1-point win, and yet again, the Cougars are going to lose a game by 1 point. And this will take the Cougars to 5-5 on the season. And with that kneel down, it may be enough. Yep, it will. So our final score from Egra Stadium, the Redskins come into Van Wert and win it on senior night, 21-20. The Cougars try for the 2-point conversion at the end, do not come up with it. An exciting game to say the least. We'll be back with the post-game show. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Welcome back to Van Wert here at Egress Stadium in the heart of Van Wert, where once again our final score, the Redskins take it 21-20 over the Cougars and stay perfect going into the playoffs. And let's real quick recap how we got here to this point. First play of the game from number 8, Colin Smith, 75 yards for a touchdown, put the Cougars on top, 7-0. Then Cameron Locke answered right back with a touchdown of his own from 1 yard out, making it 7-all. Then Nate Elsas, 40-yard touchdown reception, made it 14-7. Then once again, the Cougars came back and number 8, Colin Smith, tied it up at 14-all. And then we saw Cameron Locke answer back after a big return, came down and scored from 9 yards out to take the lead 21-14. And then at the end, number 18 of the Cougars, Josh Brown, caught the ball from Colin Smith from about 10 yards out and gave the Cougars the 20-21 disadvantage. And then they went for 2 at the very end and did not get it. So the Redskins come away with it, a close one, 21-20 to stay perfect on the season. Let's look at the unofficial stats for both teams tonight, starting with the home team, the Van Wert Cougars. Smith, 10 of 19 throwing the ball, 18 first downs on the night for the Cougars, 5 of 10 from on third downs, 0 of 2 on fourth down conversions, 2 turnovers in total, 1 interception and 1 failed fourth down conversion. As far as penalties go for the Cougars, they had 8 of them for 55 yards, 3 touchdowns in total, as we mentioned, 1 passing and 2 rushing. The 2 rushing coming from Colin Smith. And the defensive side of things for the Cougars only ending up with 1 tackle for a loss all night against the offense of the Redskins. Amazing that the Redskins offense held in for as long as they did. Looking at the visiting team, Redskins, their unofficial stats for the night, 8 of 12 throwing the ball was Huffman. 18 first downs for the Redskins as well. 2 of 5 on third downs, 0 of 1 on fourth down, 7 penalties for 60 yards. 3 touchdowns for them as well in the same order, 1 passing and 2 rushing. And as far as the defense goes, 1 sack on the night and 3 tackles for losses. And I got to tell you, this was probably one of the most exciting games that we've covered here at Game Face all season long. So now it's time to give our Owens Kitchen and Bath player of the game, and we're going to go ahead and make that players of the game and give it to Walpak's defense for coming up with the crucial stop at the end of the game to save the perfect season. So Walpak's defense is going to get our Owens Kitchen and Bath players of the game. Next week's schedule unknown to this point. We know that Wapak is in, unsure about St. Mary's. Make sure to check GameFaceOhio.com for information on that. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors: Telephone Service Company, the Minster Bank, G.A. Windsor & Son Company, Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom, Frost Roofing, The United Way, Stolly Insurance, and the Wapak Family YMCA. Once again, our final score, 21-20. Wapak stays perfect going into the playoffs. For our camera operators, Nick Bailey and John Peake, statistician Rick Carlton, and our producer Todd Utrip, this is Eli Alvarez saying so long from Van Wert, and thank you for a great season.